Well, president of the Legacy PAC, Angie Wong, weighs in on the DeSantis campaign launch. One America's Caitlin Sinclair has more.
Angie, thank you so much for being here with us on the heels of a, unique disaster, whatever you want to call the announcement yesterday we heard from Governor DeSantis. So just start off sharing with us, how do you rank that announcement from the governor?
Yeah, no, look, you have one shot at a first impression, and he blew it. Mm-hmm. And it was really unfortunate because he had a great team around him. They should have tested the Twitter Space feed, and it was a great idea to launch that way. And it certainly wanted to capture a much younger audience, someone who is competitive in this space, especially if Biden is using TikTok and Trump is using Truth Social. So it was actually a really good idea on paper, but by execution, it completely failed.
So here are a few of the arguments we've been hearing. So one camp is DeSantis should really not be trying to reintroduce himself to the folks that already know him. Who doesn't know who Governor Ron DeSantis is? And sort of this reintroduction and the style of that planned announcement, I guess some are arguing he shouldn't, that's not a winning strategy. And then there's the other camp, what presidential, any sort of rally has not run behind by at least 20 to 30 minutes? I mean, normally you're standing there for about an hour before anyone takes the center stage. So some, I guess, are arguing that this was no issue at all, no problem, and viewers and listeners, I guess, were prepared to be this patient.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, I think during the Twitter Space, basically, he could not pull off the Trump rally, right? You're not going to have 40, 50,000 people with signs going behind him, chanting for him. Nikki Haley couldn't even do that. I went to her rally in South Carolina.
I don't think anyone can do that
besides
Trump. Donald Trump, honestly.
Right, so instead he went on the Twitter Space. Again, was a good idea, execution completely failed. But what it showed me last night was that the unpreparedness really just, was not a great start. And what's worse about all this was that it was only supposed to be audio. Mm-hmm. So what's happening this morning? None of the broadcast networks played him because there was no visual. Right? So you have to give news networks like yourself something to show the next morning if you're going to make such a huge announcement. That was a complete fail. And I just couldn't understand why they would do it that way. You have to release a visual just for the news media, and I think his press team should have known that.
Well, I guess if you're in the market for a press team, there's one out there, because I'm going to assume that team was fired after that disaster. So this is where we're at now. Angie, how you work with candidates all the time. You've built up your organization at the Legacy PAC. So share with us, what is the winning strategy here? How does the governor possibly recover from this?
Well, it's consultants that have made up his entire campaign pretty much, right? And, he's also a very, very popular governor in the great state of Florida, right? And he's on the brink of losing that greatness because of where he is right now. So
then let me rephrase my question for you. Is there a winning strategy here?
At the moment, I don't see it. And, there is still a window for DeSantis to really prop himself up.
What about these MAGA supporters, though? How does Governor DeSantis or candidate DeSantis possibly get some of those to cross over? He's still playing into this messaging of making America great again, changing the words a little bit, but how do you possibly get those voters to come over? We've asked the same question to someone like Vivek Ramaswamy, who also has the same vision. He wants to take that America First agenda, and he says make it better.
Yeah, well, so I've never seen a larger voting bloc than the MAGA Republicans, right? We're talking, it was 71 million last round, but even let's say slice that in half, you're not going to have a larger voting bloc in America other than the Make America Great Again people. They are fanatics. They're ready to go. They're ready for President Trump to be back in the office in January 2025. I don't think that's going to happen until Ron DeSantis, if he ever gets the blessing of Donald J. Trump.
A lot to play out, I guess, and we will all be watching. Angie Wong, thank you so much for your time and your insight, as always.
Thank you.
For all our viewers asking where One America News is heading in the future, we would like to introduce you to OAN Live. OAN Live is the best way to stay up to date on all of the hard-hitting, straight-shooting, national and international headlines. And the best part is, OAN Live is only $4.99 per month. All the credible, honest, unbiased reporting One America News offers at a fraction of the cost of cable. Just go to OANN.com to easily sign up for OAN Live and stay informed.